Introduction to the ADDIE model. Designing an educational course can often feel like navigating through a maze without a map. Educators frequently face the daunting task of assembling a curriculum from scratch, balancing educational goals with the diverse needs of students. This complexity can be overwhelming, especially when determining where to start and how to structure the content effectively. One option that educators commonly turn to is the ADDIE model. This framework offers a structured approach to instructional design by breaking down the course development process into manageable stages, providing a clear roadmap. This brief video will explore how this model can be a key asset in creating effective and engaging learning experiences. We will start with a brief exploration of the origins of the ADDIE model and then detail the 5 stages: analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. Each stage plays a crucial role in the instructional design process, and we will delve into their specifics and applications. Furthermore, this video will offer practical advice on how teachers can effectively apply the ADDIE model in their educational practices and overcome the limitations and constraints that can occasionally become apparent when following this structure. Origins of the ADDIE model. The ADDIE model, a staple in the field of instructional design, has its roots in the world of military training. Developed in the 1970s by the Center for Educational Technology at Florida State University, it was initially crafted for the U.S. Army as a guide for training materials. Over time, the model, which was essentially a response to the need for structured educational programs that are both efficient and effective, gained traction and evolved, spreading to various educational and corporate sectors. Today, the ADDIE model is a key method in teaching design, valued for both its historical importance and its relevance in contemporary education. The 5 stages of the ADDIE model with practical examples. As mentioned, the ADDIE acronym represents the 5 stages in instructional design: analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. These stages form a cycle of improvement where feedback from each phase informs the next, allowing for ongoing refinement and ensuring a systematic approach where learning experiences are customized to meet audience needs and achieve intended outcomes. Analysis. This stage involves identifying the learner's needs and defining the learning objectives. For example, a teacher might survey prospective students to understand their prior knowledge about a topic or set students a task in order to assess their specific learning needs. Using these results and observations, education designers can identify key focus areas and tailor the course objectives to address these gaps. Here are some questions to think about during the analysis phase: who your learners are, what are the overall goals you are trying to achieve, what are the overall knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behaviors that need to be taught, what resources are required and available. Design. In this stage, the teacher plans the instructional strategy and determines the learning goals, syllabus, and content. This should match the results of the prior analysis, while early feedback should be sought from relevant stakeholders, e.g. students, educational managers, teachers. Here are some questions that should be answered during the design phase. How will the content and activities be sequenced, presented, and reinforced? What are the objectives of each session unit? What skills or outcomes are you hoping to achieve for each? What methodology will you use to achieve each objective? What media resources will be used in the instruction? How will you assess the student's understanding of the material? Development. Here, the teacher creates and assembles the educational materials. This might include creating lesson plans, preparing PowerPoint presentations, gathering videos, and developing worksheets and activities to reinforce lesson topics. During the development phase, these questions should be answered. How do I create a lesson plan? How should the content be organized? What instructor and student activities should be included? How do I provide practice for students? What media should I use when teaching? Implementation. During this stage, the teacher executes the course delivery. They might use a mix of lectures, group discussions, and hands-on activities, adapting their teaching methods to fit both in-person and online learning environments as needed. These questions should be answered when carrying out the implementation phase. How do I motivate students? How do I introduce the lesson? What kinds of questions are best to use? How do I use PowerPoint slides or other presentation media? How do I summarize and review each lesson or presentation? How do I use my time wisely during the lesson? Evaluation. The final stage involves assessing learner performance and gathering feedback from stakeholders. After the course, the teacher can assess student performance through tests and project work and collect feedback on the course's effectiveness, using this data to refine the course for future iterations. Here are some questions that should be answered during the evaluation phase. How do I know if my course has been successful? Which experts should review the materials before a course is presented to students? Which changes should be made to improve the course after it is presented? Benefits of following the ADDIE model. The ADDIE model offers several key advantages in terms of educational design and teaching. Here are some of the primary benefits. Structured framework. The ADDIE model provides a clear, step-by-step process that helps educators systematically design and deliver courses. This structure ensures that all crucial aspects of teaching and learning are addressed. Focus on learner needs. By starting with an analysis of learner needs, the ADDIE model ensures that the educational content is relevant and tailored to the audience. This focus increases the likelihood of student engagement and learning success. Flexibility and adaptability. Although the ADDIE model is structured, it's also flexible enough to be adapted to different teaching styles, subject matters, and learning environments. This adaptability makes it applicable to a wide range of educational contexts. Continuous improvement. The evaluation stage of the ADDIE model allows for ongoing feedback and improvements. This continuous improvement cycle helps educators refine their courses over time, enhancing the quality of education provided. Enhanced learning outcomes. By following the systematic approach of the ADDIE model, educators can create more effective and engaging learning experiences. This leads to improved learning outcomes and a better overall educational experience for students. Challenges and considerations in using the ADDIE model. While the ADDIE model is highly beneficial, it's important to be aware of certain challenges and considerations in its application. Time-consuming process. The comprehensive nature of the ADDIE model can make it time-consuming and resource-intensive. Each stage requires careful thought and planning, which can be challenging in time-limited situations. Continuous revision can also be demanding as it requires regular updates and improvements to the course material. Need for flexibility. While the model is flexible, there is a risk of becoming too rigid in following the stages. Educators need to remember that it's a guide, not a strict set of rules, and be willing to adapt as needed. Adapting to diverse learner needs. While the model emphasizes learner-centered design, it can be challenging to adapt the course to cater to a diverse range of learning styles and needs. In order to cater for diverse needs when using the ADDIE model, educators should first identify the various learning requirements of the cohort. They then can incorporate multiple teaching approaches and ensure all materials are accessible. Adjustments based on student feedback are also essential during implementation. Lastly, using different assessment methods and seeking inclusivity feedback is crucial for continuous improvement. To successfully implement the ADDIE model, educators should plan for these challenges and be prepared to invest time and resources. Flexibility and a willingness to adapt the model to specific contexts are key to overcoming these hurdles and maximizing the benefits of the ADDIE framework. Conclusion. In summary, the ADDIE model is a valuable framework for educators in course design, offering structure and flexibility. If implemented correctly, the 5 stages can be used to guide the creation of inclusive and effective learning experiences. While it requires time and adaptability, its benefits in addressing learner needs and enhancing educational outcomes are significant.